Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sup Talk Radio. Everybody on the line and everybody's watching in internet world on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Just a couple of quick housekeepings. We want to give a belated birthday to all our friend Robik Samborski of Apollo Nutrition. Yesterday was his birthday. Happy birthday, my friend. Most of us on the call know him, and for those that don't, he is the mastermind behind the Apollo Gym and the Apollo Nutrition franchise. Additionally, he just launched a limited edition double impact, which is going to blow everybody's socks off. It's a little high for me, but some of you folks like Craig and Aaron and might be right up your speed at about 650 milligrams of caffeine and all the other sweet things.
Nice little morning pick-me-up for us, isn't it, Aaron?
It'll do the trick.
So let me introduce everybody. Thank you so much again for joining the feed here. You know, we've got some old friends in the Review Brothers. We've got Jerry coming back once again. We thank you. And then some of our Sup Talk virgins. We have Garage Gym Homie joining the podcast. We have Vince from VW Fitness. And joining Jerry, Macho Man Savage, we have his Miss Elizabeth. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
So, Ari, why don't you start us off for just a minute? Give us all just a quick, 2-minute background about you, your supplementation, your background, whatever you want to share with the guests or the listeners.
You said me, Ari?
Yes. Yep.
All right. What up? What up? It's Garage Gym Homie. My name is Ari. My background here is that I'm a recovered addict and alcoholic. Spent many years of my life doing drugs, heroin, crystal meth. Last month, I celebrated 7 years sober, and I got way into health and fitness when I got sober. My brother, who's a competitor, brought me to the gyms, and my sponsor actually in the recovery program happens to be a world bodybuilder. So I've spent the last 7 years just trying to get as tight and ripped as possible. You know, I treat it like good dope, you know, and I love learning about the supplements. I love that, you know, I could still be in sobriety and still get an energy kick from, you know, the legit supplements, the pre-workouts, the fat burners. So I spent a lot of time in my life helping addicts and alcoholics. So I thought that by starting the YouTube channel, I could also motivate and inspire people to be healthier and, you know, learn about, not just review a bunch of stimulants, but really inspire them to get serious about taking care of their health and motivate people, really, especially people who are going through a hard time, to find, you know, something that really helped me a lot, something I found that I'll have the rest of my life.
All right, congratulations, my friend, and thank you for sharing that. I know it's tough sometimes, but you know, we're glad you're with us and glad you've overcome the demons, and onward and upward, my friend.
Yeah.
Vince, how about you? Give us a quick synopsis on you, my friend.
Yeah, so I'm Vince from VW Fitness, and I got into fitness about 7 years ago after a big breakup, and I was the skinny kid in high school. So I never really knew what the gym was. And so I finally got back into it, learned a bunch of stuff off bodybuilding.com, kind of, you know, the usual spots, and really got into supplementation pretty heavily and noticed that there really wasn't a lot of reviews. And I kind of came up the last couple of years just trying to be open and honest. I think that's the biggest thing that all of us here are trying to promote, and really just give the viewers exactly what we think of the supplements. And I think that's really important, especially today, as there's just hundreds and thousands of new companies launching. So, you know, for me, it's just really been an adventure of just creating videos and being here and meeting these great people that I'm here with.
No, we appreciate it. We're glad you're on. And Sarah, were you a supplement person, or did Jerry kind of ring you into this?
I'm gonna say Jerry kind of rang me into this. I'm trying to steal the show now. Is where we're at.
I'm a sidekick now. I'm just fucking Batman, honestly.
He needed to beautify up the damn channel, is what he did.
Exactly. I think that's what it needed.
Honestly.
Well, again, thank you, everybody. Again, people that are watching on YouTube, feel free to get the questions in there. We'll upload them and get them onto the show. But I guess we'll first start off with, we'll go with Vince on this one. What's the first supplement you ever tried?
Oh man, it had to be it was, I believe, crack. I think that was the name.
Crack the supplement.
Yeah, crack the supplement. Yes. Yeah. Had no idea what I was doing, and was probably taking 1, 2, 3 scoops and just getting blitzed out of my mind. So yeah.
And Ari, what about you, my friend?
The first supplement I tried was Beverly International 7 Keto Muscle Fat Burner. When I got sober, I gained a bunch of weight, and I was trying to burn some fat. So that was what was recommended to me.
And Miss Sarah?
Honestly, I thought like energy drinks were like kind of your pre-workout. I think Monsters were one of my like first intro to like what I call pre-workouts. I'm not really a pre-workout junkie though.
I tried. Guys, she took like Excelsior, a scoop and a half, and she said she didn't feel anything. So I have no idea what the fuck's going on with her.
No.
They've got nothing on me.
I was like, you're gonna feel this at a scoop and a half. She didn't feel shit. So I don't know what the hell is going on.
I say I feel more when I listen to Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, that's what she told me. I was like, that's a slap in the face to all of us stim junkies. I couldn't believe it.
Craig, what about you, my friend?
I think it was like BSN, NO Explode, or C4, something like that. One of those pre-workouts. I think Aaron's similar as well. Wasn't yours one of those as well, Aaron?
Yeah, I think mine was the NO Explode BSN. But when you say that, we laugh about that now. But back when it first was around, it was a lot better than it is now.
Yeah.
So I think
About
I
8
remember
years
it like
ago.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting as the companies evolve, like you're saying, like the BSNs and the Cellucors that were really good back in the day had great products. They got too big and kind of sold out a little bit, and I felt like everything got watered down.
Yeah, the same with a
100%.
lot of companies. I think C4, if I might be mistaken, but I'm sure it used to have DMAA in it.
It did.
So, yeah.
It's mad.
Going from DMAA to a
Those were
Walmart
days.
special at 1999. Oh my!
Crazy.
So
I
if
had
you
no
guys
idea
could
they
bring
had
back,
used MDMA in it.
yeah, it was on. If you guys, I don't know if you guys watched the last Scoop podcast. They had who was it on? One of the guys from talked about it. The original rendition was DMHA or DMAA back in like 2009 when it came out.
Crazy to think how much
Yeah.
has changed.
What if you could bring back one product? What would it be, Aaron? We'll shoot that out to you first.
Ooh.
I know what you're going to say.
Well, I think SP250,
Yeah.
Gafari one. That was some strong pre-workout. That was good. Probably that. It was between
one?
that and Craze.
Yeah, I was
That's
thinking
very super
Craze.
pump.
Yeah, the SP250 one. That was a strong. That must have definitely had some dodgy stuff in it. So
Interesting. Vince, what about you? But you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I would have to go with Craze. Definitely. That was a heavy hitter. Definitely. It's still, 100%.
I think it was proven to have like methamphetamines in it or something, wasn't it? That's why it was stopped. So that's probably why it was so good.
Yeah.
Aria, how about you, my friend?
Well, I'm super late to the game here. I just learned about all these crazy workouts in the last like 6 months since I started the channel like 5 months ago. I want to know what the hype around that Jack 3D is about. I never got to. I don't. Is it hyped up? Is it legit what people say? Are people just trying to relive a good memory? And really, there's pre-workouts now just as good. I don't have the answer. So I want to try that Jack 3D.
So everything you're using is current pretty much then. There's nothing that's been phased out yet.
Except that pre-phase KO, which I love. I heard they reformulated it and changed that.
So for me, I'm going to date myself a little bit. I would bring back the original Rip Fuel from the 90s that had ephedrine in it. So ephedrine was the precursor to all you stim heads with the DMAA and DMHAs. So I'm aging myself here.
What
Strong
Ultimate
stuff.
Orange one? What did that have in it?
Oh, Ultimate Orange was another good one. That had ephedrine in it, caffeine. Yeah, that was like the original back in the 90s.
Yeah,
with
I
the
thought so.
good stuff. So we've got, if you guys know Heroic Muscle, he's saying he bring back the OG line of all ALRI products.
Can't say I remember them.
Yeah.
Can't
so
say I remember them.
They were known for, they had like an amino acid blend that was actually gave you as much nutrition as actually having a protein powder. And I forget what the name of it was. And Alan, you're probably listening to this. I'm not sure what it was. But then, does anybody know Mad Vegan YT? Is that your buddy, yours, Ari?
That's my buddy. That's my buddy.
So he says bring back old creatine. I don't know what he means by old creatine versus maybe monohydrate.
He doesn't really know what he means either.
I used to take early batch creatine. The stuff was still warm from the making of it back in the early 200s. I'm sure it means 2000s. It made your legs sweat. I don't know if
What creatine were you taking?
I don't know if he's being funny or.
I don't know if that was creatine.
That good creatine.
Oh my god. So what about anybody take the original MHP Dark Rage? That might be before a lot of your times too.
No, I do remember. I remember
No.
hearing about it, but we never got to try it.
So speaking of a lot of the DMHAs and DMAAs, somebody had asked, and I think went out to one of you guys, do you feel that it's kind of making a little bit of a comeback? I guess for you guys in the UK, is it legal over there or is it still kind of gray over here like it is over here?
It's not even grey. It's completely blacklisted. It's completely off. So, but we still somehow, I don't know how, it still seems to pop up everywhere. Whether it actually is DMAA or just labelled as DMAA is a different question. So, yeah, I don't know. We are seeing a lot popping up, a lot.
So do your supplement stores carry it, or everything that you review, is that coming straight from like the US here from the manufacturers?
99% of it's coming from overseas. The retailers here, they won't advertise it on their like official Instagrams, their official pages and websites, but they'll have little like back alleyways to be able to get hold of it.
Little side pages and channels.
Yeah.
I always find it interesting because I reach out to a lot of these companies like Dark Labs and whatnot, asking if they want to come on the show, but yet they don't want to because they don't want to out themselves. There's some of these companies that have those gray stuff in there, which I think is always very funny.
That's put a cat on or something, wouldn't they? On their face.
What about we'll go around the room here. What product did you guys try with very little expectations that kind of blew your mind, that you were like really, really, I guess it blew your mind basically? Jerry, you use a lot of stims. I mean, was there something you went in with very little expectations but were really surprised by?
Just recently, oh man, put me on the spot like that. I don't know. It was one of those. Well, I mean, Excelsior by the label looks like shit, but I don't know. I really don't know.
What about you, Vince?
I freaking hated Excelsior. I hated Excelsior.
Yeah, I know you did.
Vince, are you a stim head? Because I started watching your videos, but are you a stim head like everybody else here, or are you kind of mild-mannered like me?
Yeah, I've kind of dipped off the high stim stuff for the past 4 months, I would say. I'm just kind of running. I had some liver issues, so I've kind of been trying to stay away from some of the heavy hitters. But I would say for me, PR Breaker was definitely one that, like, I didn't think that was going to be a good pre, and I actually thought it was a phenomenal pre-workout. I mean, I haven't even taken a stim in probably 2 weeks, so I'm a little bit out of the game right now. A lot of running these days.
What about Craig and Aaron? What were you expecting that a lot out of?
Well, one for me was that Benox Andro Rush. Like, don't get me wrong, it didn't feel high stim but it felt just good to train on, whereas the label looked underdosed and proprietary, but I just enjoyed training on it. So that was one for me. I can think, Aaron, there's a couple for you as well, isn't there? I can't think of the bloody name
I can think of one that definitely did,
yeah.
And it was back before anyone really knew about it, and that was the Dark Energy.
Okay.
We got hold of that very, very early doors, and it was just funny because I was speaking to the owner of it back then, not any longer he isn't, but he kept messaging saying this is the best pre-workout, and I was like, oh, they all say that. They all say that. I'll give it a go, and it was very, very good. One of my I'll still be one of my all-time favorites if you can get the legit stuff.
Well, that's it, because I've seen a lot of reviews on that one, and it seems like it's been almost 50-50. So I don't know if there was 2 batches in circulation with the good stuff and then a bad batch going around.
Yeah, I think so. I do think so. Because obviously we had it, originally it came in an actual flavour. It came in like Bombsicle or something along those lines. Then they came out with the colours. You had the purple research, the orange research and whatnot, which we had one tub and that was good. And then, I think it's gone downhill from there. So...
Okay. Ari, what about on the opposite? I know you're still new to the game, but something that you were excited about, looked at the label, said, this is going to knock my socks off, and you were disappointed with?
Well, I think I was excited about Assassin 6.5.
We've heard your story.
I think Assassin 6.5 excited me, and I kind of played around with it like it was Assassin. Like it was Assassin 6. I thought when the owner told me that they sourced new ingredients, I thought it was kind of like a marketing scam, like he was just kind of BSing around. So I played with it like it was nothing, I overdosed it. And I thought I was done with it. I thought all the drugs I did out there and this pre-workout's what's going to take me out.
So did you 1.5 scoop it, or what did you? I don't remember what you did on your video.
I think the serving is like 18 grams, and I did like 20 or something, just like on an empty stomach. And 3 of us just like fed off each other, me and my brother and my homie, the Mad Vegan YT, and we took it together. And he was like going to drive to the hospital. I mean, we thought we were never coming out of that one.
He was laying on the sofa, weren't he?
It was like a bad trip.
Oh my God, Vince, what about you? What did you have high expectations for that you were kind of let down by?
I know Jerry's going to come at me for this one, but I was not impressed by Beam's pre-workout. They sent that over to me, and I was like, the taste is shit. And the pre-workout itself, I just didn't really get a lot out of, to be honest.
I think we're getting that in the next couple of weeks. So
good luck. Let me know how it tastes.
Sarah, let's get you involved.
I didn't.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, Jerry, go ahead. What'd you say? You thought it was amazing?
Oh, I thought the flavor was really good, and then the effects were very conventional, but not that conventional is bad,
Maybe just.
I think that's what the review bros are gonna think too. They're gonna think it's very conventional, daily driver, probably like a 7 on effect. That's what I'm thinking. You guys are gonna say.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. I mean, a lot of people
Maybe
think we just want high stim all the time, but we like a good daily driver too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sarah, out of all the stuff that you've tried, what do you like so far? Let's get you involved. I don't mean to alienate you.
Oh no, you're fine. I don't know. I as far as like the pre-workouts go, like I'm already excited to go to the gym that I don't need an extra kick. I'll like sometimes do like energy drinks, but as far as pre-workouts, if Jerry hasn't introduced it to me, then like I don't know.
Yeah. I've only gave her a couple because she doesn't get much out of pre-workout somehow.
There has been one though that made me like sweat and drenched, and I'm like, this has never happened. I don't know why. I just don't like sweat during a workout. So that pre-workout he gave me, I was just drenched.
I don't even remember which one I gave her.
Hero
Alpha Yo?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Alpha Yo. No, I want to say it was a thermo of some sort, but like a mild one, not all crazy ass Alpha Yo and fucking GABA or not GABA.
Well,
It makes you sweat your ass off with GBBA or some shit.
whatever it was.
Whatever it is. Oh, and like Rain to Paradise. I don't know. It wasn't something like that. It was very mild, but she was sweating. I don't know.
As mild as it was like through the roof for me.
Yeah. I thought for sure Excelsior, she was going to feel it. I can't believe it.
It didn't do jack shit.
I need to upload to 3 scoops.
What'd you say, Craig? You 3 scooped it?
No, so she needs to take 3 scoops.
The thing
Sarah,
is,
were
though-
Sarah, were you a high stim person before meeting Jerry, regardless?
No,
I think so. I
what?
think so.
What?
I mean, she drinks Monster or not Monsters Reigns like they're going out of style. So
No, but like in
and
the
for a
beginning,
woman, that's pretty impressive. You know, it's like no big deal.
in the
Pretty impressive.
beginning, before I met you, I was doing like drinking only half a Monster as like a pre-workout, and that was it.
Well,
And I found out how much caffeine the Monster have, like only.
only 80 milligrams. I'm like, any shit. You kidding me?
And I thought that was so much.
She thought 80 milligrams was a lot before she met me. She didn't know.
And then Rain comes out with 300, and all of a sudden, it's like I thought I was doing like I was out there, and I was not.
That's the thing. People that don't know Stims think Monster has a lot in it, and it
No.
doesn't. You know.
Yeah, it's all flavor.
160 milligrams a can, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, Aaron.
Yeah.
So somebody had asked, obviously, besides reviewing, what is everyone's day job? Whether you want to truly give the company or kind of what you guys do to pay the bills. Ari, what you want to start off, Ari?
Yeah, I run a heating and cooling company here in Metro Detroit. We do residential and commercial HVAC.
And Vince?
I work in television, so I work on random TV shows and whatnot.
That's right. You were at the Super Bowl, right? Because I know we were trying to schedule, and you were doing something for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
So how was it? I mean, just the overall event and stuff, in your opinion.
I mean, definitely different with COVID and everything. But I mean, at least it was in Florida, where they don't really care.
You know, I hate Brady, but you got to give the guy credit, turning Tampa Bay around and taking him to the distance.
Yeah, it was a great game. I mean, all things considered.
Craig, what do you do for work, my man?
I work for local council, so local authority, in the revenues and benefits, so deal with like housing benefit, council tax, that sort of thing. I don't know if you guys will know what that is, because obviously you're in America, but yeah, it's just helping people who are on a low income sort of thing. So you can imagine the excitement of that.
Aaron, what about you? I don't know if I know what you do for a living.
I'm in management at a leisure centre. So there's like a branch of leisure centres around. So they've got a gym, they've got a swimming pool, a sports hall, just a bit of everything really. And I just look after the sort of day-to-day run-ins of that.
Okay. So is it similar to maybe what a YMCA is here in the US? I mean, is it a big chain kind of thing, or?
Yeah, we do have some YMCAs here, but it's like that. I actually work under the branch of Serco. I don't know if you know Serco.
No. Okay.
So yeah, I do a bit of everything there. I look after the swimming pools, I look after the gyms, I just look after the customers and whatnot. So yeah.
But are you guys open now? Are you still like employed, keeping busy?
No, I'm lucky enough. I'm one of the retained ones. A lot of the members of staff have been furloughed, where they obviously get paid by the government to stay off of work whilst we're in the lockdown. So I just go in there and do maintenance stuff. So
okay,
just general checks really.
Maintaining your gains on the gym equipment, you mean?
Yeah.
Make sure they're working properly.
Let me go check this bench press. Make sure it's good, you know.
And Jerry, when you're not laying down the lyrics, do you have a day job?
Oh yeah, I'm a manager at a transportation company, contract with Ford.
Okay.
So we do all the transportation for Ford, like
Okay.
to the dealer and shit like that. So
Okay. That was from, I don't know if you guys know Pete Pazimus. He hangs around in the circle. And for me, I work for a cancer company here in Boston. I'm the manager of talent acquisition / recruitment.
Oh.
People with liver and colorectal cancer. So we had a question come in from, most of us know Jake from ASC Supplements. Great guy, great products. So he said, maybe not all of us, but reviewers always rate the mixability of a product. Why do we do that? Why is the mixability so important at the end of the day? Because we're worried more about the efficacy and whatnot. Aaron, I don't know if you want to take that or not, because I think you guys do. You guys rate mixability too, don't you?
Yeah, to some degree we do. We do, obviously, with the tasting segment. And this is going to sound very wimpy, shall we put it, but I do think that a good tasting product and a good mixability product sets you up for a good mood to then give you that placebo effect to then go and kill training. I think if you
And you
have
wanna
to
look forward
struggle
to
through
drinking it.
something that's all chalky and bitty and all the rest of it, then automatically you're in a, I don't want to do this sort of thing.
That's true.
To a degree, like to a degree. So I do think it is a bit important.
Yeah.
Jerry, what were you gonna say, buddy?
Hey, Aaron, you mean it's not who the fuck cares about flavor?
Fuck flavour.
Jaffa orange, yeah.
Yeah, so I like a lot of it is let's face it, once in a while we get a pre-workout where there is a lot of sediment in the bottom, and the last thing you want to do is just get like a mouthful of sand that you're gagging on. And I know it sounds weird, but you know, we want it kind of good, I guess. Mixability is good.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you can get really well put together pre-workouts that are like 10 out of 10 on effects that also taste and mix like 9, 10 out of 10. So if there's products available like that on the market, why would you go for one that's like 9, 10 out of 10 on effects but tastes really horrible and doesn't mix? Like, there's no point going for that option if there's better ones.
Ari, agree to disagree?
Well, it's not that I disagree. I don't ever rate mixability on products. The only time, to me, I'm kind of like, I'm a little crazy. So to me, the worse something tastes and the more like suffering I do, I feel like it's going to be better in the long run. You know, it's like the only time I really care is if I forget to put a product in the freezer that clumps up, and then I have this like this slimy like taste go down my throat. You know, it's like from the glycerol or whatever the heck's in there that clumps up. That's nasty to me. But besides that, I just want to get it down, I guess.
So you don't want to chew your pre-workout?
No, I don't want to.
Oh my God. So somebody had asked, what do you guys take? Do you guys use sleep aids, and what do you guys use? Vince, are you a sleep aid person?
I tried Sedative by Glaxon for a few days. And I haven't even finished that review just because I really don't use sleep aids that often. So, yeah, I would say I'm not really privy to knowing that much about them and if they actually work. That's the big thing for me.
Yeah. I can tell you that I've tried the Sedative, which tasted like absolute crap.
Yeah.
But the new one, if you ever get your hands on the Tranquility is the new version of it. The flavor's on point. Flavor's definitely on point. You know. Oh, Aaron, what are you promoting there?
I just found it next
It's
to me. This is
advertising.
those pro sups, the crash, the liquid ones that come, the top comes off and it's a cap and you just do a shot of it. That actually tastes really good.
That doesn't have any GHB in it, does it?
No, I think it's got melatonin in it and GABA. Yeah, melatonin and GABA. But yeah, I don't like the ones. Again, this is going to sound funny, but I don't like the ones where you have to mix it with water because then you wake up in the night needing the toilet. So
Yeah.
Okay. Jerry, you're a late owl. I know you have shows and stuff you do at night. Do you take anything to kind of unwind, or do you just let the endorphins come back down on you, Jerry?
Well, I work midnight, so I'm usually tired as shit when I get home anyway. So it's kind of hard to review sleep aids. I mean, on my days off, I kind of use them, to review them. But like during the week, I'm going to sleep as soon as I get home, regardless. It don't fucking matter,
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so for me, it's almost like Aaron. So one of my litmus is I do use a sleep aid maybe 2 to 3 times a week just for whatever reasons. But one of my gauges is, yes, if it has me get up to go to the bathroom 2 or 3 times, it's not good for me. Generally, my tolerance is once. So for me, that's kind of a positive thing. And if I wake up refreshed, or like some of them, you wake up like you feel like you're hungover or drunk, you definitely don't want that.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
So we have a question from Jim Rat. I don't know if anybody knows this individual, but thank you, Jim Rat. Which pre-workout is your daily driver? Vince, do you have a daily driver?
Right now, not really. I would say, though, and this sounds a little crazy because I think it's one of the best pre-workouts out there, but Alpha Lion Superhuman Supreme is definitely like my go-to if I'm going to, take anything right now, currently. So
does that hit all the cylinders of like pump, focus, and caffeine, or what is it about it?
Yeah, it just hits every department for me. It tastes great. I keep going back to it, so I don't know.
Do you have one, Ari? I know you kind of bounce around a lot, but is it one you consistently go back to, you feel comfortable with?
Well, you say daily driver. I only take pre-workout once, maybe twice a week at the most. I'm a big restriction guy, so then when I take it, it works. I don't like to overdo it. 5 days out of the week, I take non-stim. So if I had to choose a daily driver that I would be comfortable with taking regularly, I'm with that on the Alpha Lion, and the huge supplements wrecked is like not too much, and it leaves me with a really good feeling afterwards. I love that huge supplements wrecked was really good for me.
But you would think that'd be a daily driver with the intensity of it?
I didn't find it to be too intense. I just found it to be a very like feel good, no DMAA, no DMHA, something I could take regularly. I didn't find that pre-workout to be any more intense than the Alpha Lion.
What about you, Craig? Is there something you go back to, more than not as a daily driver?
I wouldn't say we really have daily drivers, myself and Aaron, because we're working through such a backlog, which I'm sure most of you are. We kind of just use the pre-workout we're reviewing and then straight on to the next one. We don't really have like an interim one that we'll just jump to, really. And not unless, obviously, out of a pandemic when we're going to a gym as for a special occasion, then me and Aaron might put it together and think of a specific one we want to take for that day for it to have a laugh. But yeah, I wouldn't say I do. I don't suppose you do either, Aaron.
No, I think the ones that have been mentioned would probably be the ones I'd go to, the Superhuman Supreme, the Wrecked by Huge Supplements, or maybe MV Pre 2.0 by Nova Farm, like those sort of pre-workouts that, as long as it's something that hits enough energy, enough pump, and enough focus, like all the basis we want from a pre-workout then. And yeah, I think it's important that product would taste good as well, because if you're going to do it more often than not, you want it to taste good.
Yeah.
So yeah, something like that.
For me, obviously, we're all in the same boat. We kind of cycle through a lot, but the one I gravitate to a lot myself is the MHN, the Aries. I know we've kind of been a little bit mixed on that, but for me, that seems to me for a good daily driver, even though it is a prop blend. But I'll tell you, if you reach out to the owners, they'll share with you a lot that is in there. Surprisingly enough, I've asked them certain numbers and they've shared them. So, I've been very proud with that. Vince, we have a question for you from Heroic Muscle. What microphone are you using?
It's the Shure SM7B.
Alan, I hope that helps.
There you go.
Has anybody on the call here ever been threatened by a lawsuit?
Not yet.
We haven't, we are.
Related to supplements or something else?
No, for supplements, for a review. I can tell you that Matt from 5 Minute Subs was actually threatened with legal aspect because a company sent him a product. He didn't give him a favorable review. And he basically said, they basically threatened him to take the review down. And he said, no, it's freedom of speech. And the guy kept going back and forth. And he finally backed off. But I thought that was very interesting. I'd never heard that before in my life.
Yeah.
I think I remember that coming
actually,
up. Yeah.
We had not quite legal action, but we have had sort of not threats, but people ask us to take our videos down, and we've said no. So it is what it is.
I made one about Redcon 1 the other day.
That was awesome.
Wasn't very favorable.
That was awesome.
It went through my head, like I hope I don't really need to be concerned because they're pretty big. I was just hoping it wasn't something I need to worry about. But
did anybody reach out to you, Ari? Reps or anybody reach out?
No. But I know the video was getting like a lot of traction. And if you YouTube just the word Redcon 1, it was the 4th video that comes up.
Wow. So somebody else asked, are there any companies that you really dislike? And I don't know if we're comfortable sharing that or not. Vince, are you comfortable? Anybody that maybe not the company itself, but maybe just the products you've tried just weren't happy?
Yeah, give me a sec on that one. I'll need to think through that one for a second.
Jerry, what about you? I know Jerry, you've heard a lot.
My lord, before I answer that one.
Aaron or Craig, anybody you want to share, or we'll kind of keep it?
We'll have to pull out our shopping list were.
Oh yeah, we've had a few, haven't we? We've had run-ins with a company here in the UK, Naughty Boy. Yeah, just wasn't a massive fan. But at the same time, we didn't absolutely slam their products. I don't know where the heat come from, really. To be fair, we get on with most companies, don't we?
Yeah.
Naughty boy, Jerry.
Naughty boy.
I think it's interesting, though, that I think the one thing I have to say with all of us, and not because we're all on the call here, is that we're very tactful that even though a product might not be good, I think we're very, very tactful the way we kind of say it. You know, like I've seen reviewers where they just knock the shit out of a product and it's like, you know, there's no filter.
I've done both.
Well, all right, so let me rephrase that. Most of us on the show here.
I think that's because you have to, if it looks too much like you're really digging into it, then it kind of might look a bit biased. So you've got to be like almost like a professional level where you just you go through the good and the weak points, and
it's tough because these people will send, like me, I'm new, they go out of their way, they'll send me products or whatever, like especially when I had like 100 subscribers. It's tough to be like, okay, this person was nice enough to support my channel and then go on the internet and bash their product and like talk about how it freaking sucks. So I at least try and point out the positive parts of that product. I could always find something good about something to talk about, where I'm still being honest.
Like, Ari, the one thing I have to say for you that I've kind of followed your suit a little bit is it really pisses me off when the scooper sizers are really, really off. Okay, and I don't know like who's to blame, because if you ask the company, they blame the manufacturer for putting the wrong scoop in there. But yet you always kind of do it very, very humbly, where you say, look, it's off a little bit. Make sure you scoop and a half it, scoop and a quarter. Where for me, I'm just like, it's off, guys. Wake up, because most people don't do that. Most people will not weigh it thinking they're getting the 18 to 20 grams.
I just don't think playing around with stimulants like that is good when you're playing with, some potent chemicals. You should always put it on the scale, I believe. I mean, you're ingesting something in your body. You shouldn't just take a scoop. You should look at what what they recommend you take.
Yeah, you've always got to be ready.
At a moment's notice.
Okay, I just want to say to anybody watching at home that Aaron was not prepped with this, pulling out a sleep aid out of his back pocket, a scale out of his back pocket.
I'm ready.
Well, he's got the whole goddamn
ready for
war.
war.
Behind him.
To the left is his NutriBullet. To the right is his other NutriBullet.
Got the whole arsenal.
Aaron and Craig, somebody asked me, or maybe you guys, is there a supplement circle in the UK?
Yeah, we think there is. We do think there is.
What is it exactly?
I think it's just a group of people that stick together. These companies stick together. They all sing their own praises amongst each other. They're very against honest reviews. I think that's the best way. They won't send us anything. Not that we're entitled to be sent stuff, by the way, before I get called out for that. But they're very much like, no, we know you're going to sort of be honest. We won't send anything over. They just sort of stick together, don't they, Craig? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. They got their own little clique, and they won't let anyone in the circle. And it's like they're all in this little pact together that they're not to talk to anyone who's not in the circle. Like a school sort of thing you'd have in like high school, where you got the little gang of people that just won't want to deal with anyone else.
We've heard of like messages and conversations like about myself and Craig many a time from some of these people in the circle. So
is the circle companies or reviewers?
Mixture. It's a mixture. It's mostly companies, some retailers, and some, not many reviewers. There's not many here in the UK.
Okay.
And they all get together and push this specific several brands, didn't they? The retailers, it'll just be the same 3 or 4 brands. Buy this, in giving the impression that there's nothing else available, and it's just these 3 brands that exist in the whole world. It's it's a wind up.
So here's a question.
Over here, though. I mean, there's a couple of review channels that only talk about a certain amount of brands. As if there's not thousands of fucking brands out there. It's like 5 that they talk about. Ironically, right?
Yeah. I wonder why that
their blinders on.
So do you guys know of channels that are really getting views that might not be openly saying? You don't have to say who it is, but have you caught anybody that they're on the payroll but they're not admitting it? Because I know Robic, he hates a lot of the review channels because he swears that they're getting paid. whether it's here or there. But Vince, I don't know if you I know you're a reviewer, a great reviewer, but do you follow a lot of other reviewers, or do you kind of keep to yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I follow obviously everyone here, but I kind of stay in my own lane. I know who we're talking about here, so
I actually don't. I'm not picking anybody out.
I mean, I'll say it. There's nothing. Price Plow. They are a marketing company. That's what they do, and they stay in their lane. We stay in our lane. It's just kind of and I respect what they do. There's no shade being thrown here, but it's hard when you have for example, a 16-year-old kid that's trying to find a pre-workout and they find Price Plow, and they don't understand that they're more of a marketing company than like a review channel. So, I mean, I still follow their content, and I follow a lot of other reviewers, but I think it's just something that's not really talked about enough, and I think that's the biggest problem.
So, Jerry, in your opinion, if you're someone that just stumbles across a channel, it's someone that's maybe naive, is there anything they should be looking out for, like anything they should be listening for? Let's say somebody stumbles across your channel and it stumbles across, Price Plow. Is there any advice you can give people?
Well, when they stumble across Price Plow, they do mention there's financial bias a lot of times. But some people don't really see that as it's paid and it's kind of not their true thoughts. When they see me, it's you can tell I'm being raw because I'm literally saying whatever comes off the cuff, and it's not super edited and all this scripted shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know, because some people like the professionalism of Price Plow. How they're very set up and very organized, and you could tell it's almost scripted, and some people like that. Some people don't like me cussing and being all raw and stuff. Even though I'm being honest, they would rather watch that stuff, and then they end up taking their opinions or whatever. So I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because other than them saying they have a coupon code and they do get a kickback or whatever, you pretty much think that they're being honest about everything. So it's
I don't know who needs more of a filter, you or Eddie from Muscle Players, but I think you win, Jerry, for your verbiage.
Hey, I can tone it down a little bit, honestly.
Take it down from 10 fucks to 9. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
It counts.
It counts.
What's that, Sam? Oh, my God. So Sarah, we'll ask this for you, and it'll go around. What's the hardest supplement you've ever taken? Which one that, really had you going hard?
I don't think I've had one yet.
Just the one that was making her sweat, which was like a thermo of some sort. I think it was a thermo pre. It wasn't necessarily a thermo, but it wasn't necessarily pre. It was like a hybrid type of one. I think it was Pure Shred by fucking
InnoSubs.
Pure Cut Subs.
Who?
Or Pure Cut Subs. That's it.
Pure Cuts, yeah. I think that's what I gave her. And it was making her sweat. And if you look at the formula, it's actually kind of unique. It's like a cross between a pre and a thermo a little bit. But I wouldn't say it's super core or anything, but it was very effective.
I thought it was hardcore.
Yeah.
I think it's got that gamma beta butyrate in it.
I think it does.
Hasn't that got that gamma beta butyrate, which is that GBB?
Yeah, GBB.
Yeah, that's strong. That's like Alpha. It's like Alpha Yo, really.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to that, yeah.
The hardest for you, or does anything else come close to that?
For me?
Ari, Garage Gym.
Oh, the hardest? Besides the Assassin, I don't know, Defiant Unleashed was pretty hardcore for me. YOLO Dark Side was but those were mental hardcore, those put me in those were mentally strong. And I like that better than that crazy heart beating strong. I like a good, mental euphoria and stuff. Those are some strong supplements. I mean, they put you in another place. It's anyone who thinks they need that for a workout is lying to themselves, but it's all to have a good time. I mean, they feel good.
Aaron, what about you? What's the hardest hitting you've ever used?
Probably the Assassin 6.5 or Edge of Insanity was a mad one.
The first one,
Yeah, that was crazy.
I haven't tried that.
Oh no, you don't want to.
I reviewed the new one this morning. I put it on my channel. It wasn't like that first one was described.
Has anybody tried the Insane Labs? Because I know there's rumors that one of the Insane Labs has got like a gram of caffeine in it, but it's
Yeah,
prop
I've heard
blend.
that. Yeah, I tried the Psychotic back in the day when it had that. It's a proprietary blend, wasn't it? And then there was lab reports going around that it had over a gram. But yeah, that was strong.
Oh, and then we have Pete saying Assassin, Leatherface, and Aries White, the top 3 hitters for him.
Yeah, good choices. Yeah.
Let's see. Do you guys ever no, Ari, I know you do obviously, but do you guys ever detox from supplements at all? Like take 2-3 days, X amount of time, nothing at all? Or are you guys always on something, whether it's a BCAA, anything whatsoever? Aaron, we'll ask you.
Yeah, there's days. So at the moment I'm only training 5 days a week, so I'll only have supplements on those 5 days. And then myself and Craig, it's probably every 4 months now, we have like a week off each. We take it now that we're not actually together because of the lockdown. We take a week separately, so then I can keep reviewing while he has the break and vice versa.
Jerry, what about you? Do you ever take a break it off from any supplements, whether it's protein powder, anything?
So my version of a stim break is like 500 milligrams still. So, that's honestly my version of it. I'm not joking. So like today's on dad train day, but I've already had 2 energy drinks. So like that's my stim break.
And it's only 1 o'clock there. It's got the rest of the day.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Day's not over.
But I work midnight, so I drink a lot of energy drinks at work, and then I train before I work, so I take a pre-workout. So during the week, it's pretty fucking heavy on stims. No lie. You know, the fact that I work midnights is another aspect of it, but you know, I got to stay up, so that part sucks. And then when I wake up, you know, I'm kind of sluggish because I slept in till 1 in the afternoon or whatever. So kind of getting up and getting ready to go to the gym is a little bit of a struggle. So it is what it is, but I would say, and then like during the week, it's at least 750, very minimum.
Jerry, did you wake up today early for the show?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We both did.
Much love, brother. Much love. Okay, here's one from Jim Rat. Jim Rat's a new guy to me, but I appreciate him chiming in here. Does anybody have like a go-to music in the gym? Vince, is there anything specific, title, any genre, anything whatsoever?
Nothing specific. I tend to listen to like more tropical house music if I'm going to listen to anything, to be honest.
Mostly tropical house, like throw down a
like Kygo, or I mean, there's so many great artists, but it's typically Kygo. If I was to name one artist.
Ari, what about you? Do you listen to music in your home gym?
Oh, it's one of the best things about it. I can blast my music. I don't need headphones. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I go for hard rap, mostly not much newer rap, but older stuff. Used to listen to Eminem. Just stuff that gets me pumped up. If I'm gonna deadlift, I'm gonna put on like some Pantera or some Metallica, something that lets me lift some heavier weights. I could tell I could lift heavier weights when I got metal on.
Craig, what about you?
I'd say it's a cross between metal, rock, dance, and drum and bass. Like, depends what mood we're in, what pre we've taken, what body part is. Like leg day, I think by default is always going to be heavy metal. So yeah.
US heavy metal or something in the UK?
Mostly US, to be honest, but some UK, yeah, Australian as well. Parkway Drive. I think, are they Australian?
Yeah.
They are. Yeah.
Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I love that.
Sarah, what about you? What's in your headset when you go work out?
It honestly depends. Like, I range from like the 70s and 80s most of the time, like either rock or whatever plays in the 70s or 80s genre. And then like on my harder days, I either listen to like NF, Echo, those people, or or like Russian rap. Honestly, that like gets me going for those heavy lifts.
She's all over the place.
Yeah,
Honestly.
but like I usually on a typical day it ranges like the 70s and 80s type of genre of music.
So, but 70s and 80s, is that from your parents? Because I'm going to guess you weren't around 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I just age well. No, it's mostly for my parents, and then it just like stuck with me. I cannot stand like today's music. Like I think the other day I heard the WAP song.
Oh God.
I had to leave the place. It was terrible. I'm like, I do not understand how these kids like listen to this music.
Yeah, her music choice is respectable considering how young she is. So.
That's the one that I was telling my daughter the other day. I have a 16-year-old daughter that the music from a lot of the rock from the 80s and 90s, like there's no more longevity anymore. Like the Metallicas and the Guns N' Roses and even some of the 80s hair bands. There's nothing from the 2000s on besides, some people might say U2 has gone the test of time, but there's no real groups nowadays that are going the test of time. And maybe that's just me being old. I don't know.
What if they say the exact same thing in 20 years?
But what do you think is going the test of time though, Aaron? What's been around? Like let's say late 90s, 2000s.
Oh, that's tough, and it is tough.
Linkin Park, have they stuck? I suppose they don't carry on anymore today since.
Well, the lead singer died, so it's gonna be pretty tough.
Carried on like an offshoot, have they?
I mean, Blink-182 is still going.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Five Finger
Death
Punch is still going.
They're still going.
There's a couple.
Okay.
AC/DC is still making music.
Yeah, but different singer now though. They're on a third singer.
Are they? It's not Brian Johnson?
No, I think he finally moved on. If you look it up, because I know he finally moved on.
I thought he came back.
I thought he came back.
It sure sounds like him.
So Pete says I'm so old. They play my music in elevators. Uh-oh, I don't know if Craig's phone. I don't know if Craig's thing. Oh, he's back. Aaron's Craig. Hold on.
Oh, Aaron's gone.
We thought Aaron. We thought maybe your phone died or press break.
I pressed the wrong button.
Oh, so let's see. Do you think exotic stims are making a comeback? We'll go to Vince. I guess Vince, are you exotic stims guy, or do you stick more to caffeine like me?
Yeah, I'm probably more towards just straight caffeine now these days. But I would say they're. I feel like a lot of companies are trying because of a lot of us out there, like high stim junkies. I mean, like I said, I don't really do a lot of that anymore, but I would say it's definitely coming back, or companies are trying to figure out a way to make it crazier and heavier and push the limit.
Yeah, with the botanical forms.
With Aaron and Craig, I'd say probably 50%, 60% of your reviews probably have some kind of exotic in it. No? You guys seem to lean me a little bit more to that, or is it just what you get?
Yeah, I think so. And we try and I think they're the ones that people want to see, so we hype them up a bit more. So then, advertise them more on Instagram. So it probably feels like we're actually putting more of that out. Whereas what we get sent is probably 60-40 towards that, maybe.
Are there any ingredients that we don't like as a group? I know, Jerry, you hate Alpha Yo. Does anybody else dislike Alpha Yo or any other types of ingredients, whether it's stim or not?
We don't mind it up to like 1.5 milligrams to an absolute push, but we'd rather not have it in there probably if we had a choice.
I'm with that too.
Vince, is there any ingredients, whether it's Alpha Yo, stim or non-stim, anything you kind of don't like?
I mean, when I was taking pretty much anything and everything, I didn't mind it. I actually like Alpha Yo. It gets me sweating. It gets I'm a fan.
I'm the same way. I'm about 2 milligrams myself, and again, that's one of the ingredients you can verify that's in the product for the most part.
Theophylline, I don't really like. GBB, I hate that gamma beta butyrate. That's really they're kind of down the Alpha Yo sort of style, the ones that affect your breathing as well.
Yeah, theophylline. Have you guys ever gotten sick, like really sick on it?
Yeah, just like really breathless. And...
What's that, Jerry?
I said that's exactly why. I ended up double scooping Alpha Yo. Like back in the day, it was like I don't even know what the fuck it was. I think it was BPI 1MR, but it was the one that had Alpha Yo in it or some shit.
Hey, theanine is another one. I don't really
I double
take
scooped it.
workouts.
So I double scooped it, and I literally felt like I was dying for the whole night. And I was like, "What the fuck is it?" I didn't know what it was at the time, though. I was looking at the prop blend. I'm like, "Is it this ingredient? No. Is it that ingredient? No." I'm like, "I think it's fucking this ingredient." Well, long story short, I found out it was LPO. I'm like, I will never take fucking a product from LPO again. It was, oh my god, it was so bad. I mean, you feel like you had the flu, you couldn't fall asleep, cold sweats, sweating your whole butt up when you're trying to fall asleep. Fucking, the list goes on, man. It's horrible. I don't know why people like it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how people like it.
Aaron and Craig, was it the chemics, whatever it is, did that kind of mess you guys up or no?
Yeah, because I think that had that theophylline in it as well.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything good. That's one product I will not try. Like, I'll try a lot of things, half scoop, but that chemics one I will not touch.
I think it had too many mushrooms blended up in it, didn't it, as well? I think that was one of the main issues. It had like
We had
grams
the
and
Pico
grams
too.
of
They had some
mushrooms.
extra bits, didn't it?
Yeah, like a well
But yeah.
excessive amount.
I felt, oh yeah, I didn't feel right on that at all. I felt so weak and shaky. I felt like I was having, you know, some sort of diabetic
needed some
attack
sugar.
or something. Yeah.
Somebody had mentioned, I'll throw this out to Vince. What about stevia? Does anybody dislike stevia or stevia? Do you have a good pro or con on it?
It depends.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I'm not. I'd rather have sucralose, to be honest. Like stevia is obviously all natural, but yeah, I'm just gonna use sugar if I want it to be. If I'm gonna pick a natural source, I'm just gonna pick sugar. For me,
Jerry, what were you saying? You don't care for it either?
What's that?
Jerry, you don't care for it either?
No, I said it kind of depends. I've had some protein that was sweet with stevia and it tasted horrendous. And I've had protein that tasted with stevia, and I was like, how is there fucking stevia in this? This thing is amazing. So I don't know. It's like how they do it or their flavors, but a lot of times stevia with BCAAs tastes horrendous. Normally, So
yeah,
I can think it just depends on how they do it. I'm not opposed to it if they do it correctly. I mean, I guess that's what I'm saying.
All right, do you have a preference on some of these natural sweeteners versus like the hardcore, not the hardcore, but the real stuff? When it comes to products, of course.
I mean, I'd always rather the cleanest possible stuff that I could put in my body. But again, I mean, when I'm putting DMHA in my body or DMAA and I'm griping about stevia, I mean, I don't know. I got to pick and choose. I don't really spend time thinking about it, really.
Besides Jerry, I know your channel, you're all over the lot. Anything health and fitness, you got the bars, you got the protein, you got drinks. But Aaron and Craig, do you guys ever review anything else? Or have you
We do
reviewed anything
dabble with
else?
it. Yeah, we
With,
dabble with some protein and intra workouts here and there.
I do a few energy drinks here and there, but we're just so snowed under with pre-workouts. It's unbelievable. We've probably got, not even exaggerating, if we didn't receive another product today, we'd still have another year's worth of reviews to do from pre-workouts.
Damn.
So why is it, Aaron, you have all the bottles, and Craig, do you not have the bottles, or do you just give them all to Aaron to build his wall?
Yeah, Aaron still building his wall. We've got to complete his one, then I get to work on mine. No, it's just easier to have it all go into one place. I think it's just easier to track what's what, and then I'll just like take 2 dozen off Aaron periodically, and for the ones I'm reviewing.
You do have a load though, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a whole box full, like a 3-foot box in the corner of my room that I'm packing all together. So yeah, there's loads here too.
Craig, real question: when you take 12 of them home, are you doing the speed limit so you don't get pulled over?
Yeah, I do, mate. Well, Aaron normally drops them round, to be fair, so I can't really comment.
Because I can't imagine having all those tubs with look very good getting pulled over.
No, it looked like you're well dodgy, wouldn't it? Well, I did have a bunch in my boot for like a year at one point, like, but I've taken them out now.
A bag full, wasn't it?
Boot sale, yeah.
Vince, what about you? Do you focus on something more than the other? Because you're more pre-workout on your channel, no?
Yeah, like I said, my channel's kind of shifted a little bit since everything's kind of happened and whatnot. So I really don't have a lot of pre-workouts even sitting around right now to review, and I haven't really been in the gym consistently. So I've kind of shifted towards more like daily drivers and running, trying to get vlogs and cooking, some cooking stuff going. So I'd like to get back into the pre-workouts a little bit more, but I've got to be real careful just due to health reasons. So
tell us about that for a minute, Vince, because I saw that on one of your recent reviews that you're going to be dipping into cooking. Like, what kind of cooking are you doing?
Just trying to create healthier meals on a flat top griddle style cooking. And you know, just trying to explore that a little bit, different content, you know, change it up.
Do you follow Remington James? Have you ever heard of him?
I haven't.
I'll have to send it to you. He's a good guy because he's all about the anabolic diet, which is like 40, 30, 30 or something. But he's got some really, really good meals that I've followed. Like he's got a KFC popcorn chicken that's really healthy. He does protein shake, not shakes, but like ice cream and everything else. I have to send it over to you. He's got like 1.5 million followers or something ridiculous.
People love the cooking videos.
Yeah. But what else? What else are we missing here, guys? I've gone through a lot of questions, but throw out questions if people want to know about each other or whatever.
Well, I'm just going to have a wee in the interval break while you discuss that, okay? All right, 2 secs.
He's going in the restroom? I missed what he said.
Yeah. He's making an escape.
I'm trying to see what else.
What product? I was going to ask. What product reviews do you guys have coming up really soon? Like the next, within the next sort of few days, really.
Ari, what's in your wheelhouse?
I'm excited to review these bar. I don't do many bars, but there's one bar that the only bar I eat.
The Red Cod 1 MRE?
Nah, not Red Cod 1 MRE.
Not anymore.
The only bar that I put in my body, I'm excited to put a spotlight on. And it's like whole, raw, actual food. You got to refrigerate them. You're eating real food.
Perfect bar?
You're a bar nobody really, not many know about, and they make them in very small batches in Southern California. And little preview here, they're called Papa Steve's, and they make half vegan, half with whey.
Ari, put it up again so Jerry can see. Hold it up again.
I never heard of that.
No joke. That looks
You're
good.
not going to find one bad ingredient in this bar, and it's when you open it up, it's real food you're looking at. So I'm excited to spotlight them.
So we'll watch for your review, but what's the binder? Is it honey or what's kind of binding it all together?
Well, for example, this is their vegan peanut butter chocolate chip, organic peanut butter, pea protein, organic dates, organic puffed brown rice, organic apples, freeze-dried strawberries, and then they got the organic dark chocolate, which is just cacao powder and cacao butter, and organic cinnamon. It's literally just like all raw food in here. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm a big fan of that, and I eat a couple a day and 2 at a time, and that's like 600 calories. I get 40 grams of protein out of it.
It's strictly online. You get it from Amazon or straight from them?
I get it straight from them. Me and my brother buy about 400 of these bars at a time, and we freeze them, and we share them with people. People want to buy them off us or whatever. I get a wholesale price on them.
Oh, shit.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Here's a question that comes to mind. So we'll go around here. What company would you want to tell listeners to keep an open eye out? I mean, what company do you think is going to blow up this year? Whether it's a new company, an existing company, what are you guys watching that think is going to do some good stuff? Jerry, I know Jerry. I think you and the View Brothers, I think, do the most videos with so many different products and not products, but so many different brands. What are you liking nowadays, Jerry? You say, look, watch out for this company. They're going to blow up this year.
Well, this is one of them for sure. Jack Factory.
Yeah.
This bar, it's very similar to the outright. It's cheaper, and as far as like protein bars, I feel like this is gonna blow up possibly. As far as like other supplements, man, I have to look at my channel and be like, okay, this one.
Did you get that Jack Factory on a 2 for
Who do
1?
you
Because I
reckon,
keep getting
Aaron?
pop-ups for 2 for 1.
Yeah, it's on Amazon for like $9 for a box of 6 or something.
Yeah.
But the
Okay.
price point and the taste is absolutely phenomenal, and I feel like they're gonna like. I mean, you guys know Outright's like kill game right now. This is like very similar to Outright, and it's super cheap. So,
Yep.
I mean, I definitely think they could not take over, but definitely have some competition for the whole Outright peanut butter based type of bar that's been getting a lot of attention lately. You know, as far as
Okay.
supplements overall, I feel like, you know, there's certain categories like vegan. There's like a certain couple brands that are just killing it. You know, as far as whey, there's a certain couple of brands that are just, you know, coming out with crazy ass flavors. You know, and then as far as pre-workouts, I feel like that's its own thing. I don't feel like there's one company that's really doing everything phenomenally. I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Okay.
You know, that's actually why I did like specific videos. I did like a top vegan, I did a top whey, I did a top pre-workout, because I feel like certain brands are just, you know, they might come out with 1 or 2 flavors or whatever, and they're just not killing it like that. You know.
Yep. Vince, what about you? Anybody that's got your eye right now? You think it's going to do good stuff?
You know, I think companies like Glaxon, all these kind of companies that do these launch things, the big hype around it. I think those are the companies that are probably going to continue to push more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
You know, it's great marketing. It's great sales strategy. Some of these older companies, I think, will eventually kind of come to fruition with that sort of style. I just think that as things continue to grow, a lot of these companies are going to start having to push more marketing, because like Glaxon, Ghost, obviously I'm a Ghost fanboy, whatever. You know, that's what they do, and they're really good at it.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. So I think a lot of those sort of companies will continue to grow exponentially, especially as we get out of COVID.
So, Vince, since you brought that up, and I'm going to go back to my original question, it seems like the companies that are putting themselves forward understand really the marketing and the supplementation. And I think that's where a lot of companies are failing, is they're coming out with a great product or products, but they don't have the marketing. They don't know how to market this shit.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, Ghost, their content, they're pushing content nonstop. You know, all of their like athletes, whatever, they're pushing the content nonstop. I mean, that's one thing I think with Glaxon that they will probably do this year a lot more of, is probably find more influencers and more content creators to really push their products more, to get it out there.
See,
Yeah, and plus
that's
they've got good science, because I don't know if people know Joey
100%.
Savage.
Yeah.
Joey Savage is the one that made C4 back 10 years ago.
100%.
Yeah. Ari, what about you? Anybody that's on your radar?
See, like,
I really like what Huge Supplements is doing.
Yes.
They make, you know, their pre-workout, their formulas seem to be really solid. They kind of have like, you can kind of find something like for all your needs with them, it seems like, whether it's, you know, they got the Intra, the BCAA. They can make my favorite sleep formula now that Redcon screwed up their fade out. Their Hibernate is awesome. Their pre-workout. I just like that they're smaller. I like supporting them. I really like Hype Sups makes, if you like hardcore stuff, I like Hype Sups makes a lot of good stuff. It seems like, I don't know, anybody who's just not like super mass produced, you know, I like to spotlight on and, you know, be supportive of, because I think they need it, especially in these strange times, you know.
Right, Aaron and Craig. I know you guys like Huge Supplements, but anybody else on your radar?
Yeah, I've got 2 more on the radar. So I think Peak Performance Labs will do very well. They're bringing out some fantastic formulas. And I also think a UK brand, Alpha Neon, I think they're doing very well, very good, interesting products over here. They're looking at things a bit differently, and I do know that they eventually want to expand overseas to where you guys are. So hopefully that goes well.
I'm trying that nuclear pre after we get off this, actually. I've never tried it.
Oh, you'll love it.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah.
Craig, what about you?
I was literally going to say the exact same as Aaron, funny enough. But yeah, I agree. They're definitely making moves, definitely releasing better and better products every year. So yeah, there's no reason why they won't explode.
Yeah, I'd have to say I have to agree with most of on huge supplements because they came up on my radar and they've got a full, as you guys know, they have a full portfolio of everything, and I've never heard of them. I've never seen them before. And
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the fact that they're in Amsterdam or not New Orleans, but New Zealand, or where are they?
They're in the Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Netherlands. That's it. Yeah, I think they just went all out and put all of their money
Oh,
in
what
straight
huge
away.
supplements? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I really like the Rec too, and that's kind of
Mm.
almost a stim lover's dream without the exotics.
Yeah, really good, really good. And their
Yeah.
hibernate's good.
Yes.
Pump serum's good. And then their muscle building products are very interesting and out there, aren't they? So I think they're going to do well. Yeah, they're very good.
I don't know,
Got
Aaron and
every
Craig, if
base
you can
covered,
answer.
haven't
Sorry, if you guys can answer, but why does it seem like there's more supplement companies or more supplements in general here in the U.S. versus the U.K., or is it just maybe I'm looking at it wrong?
US is bigger.
Yeah, I think it's just because the USA is obviously a
That's
lot bigger. There's a lot. I don't know if there. I'd like to see it as a ratio to see how many companies are here versus over there. Obviously, there's a lot more over there, but in terms of like person to person, is there more companies? I don't know because there is a lot popping up over here as well.
Are the regulations more stringent in the UK versus like in Australia, where Australia you can only have like 1 gram of citrulline, or is it kind of pretty similar to here in the US?
It's in the middle. It's in the
Okay.
middle of both. It's not as free as it is in the US, but we're also better off than like Canada, Australia.
Yep.
So we do have a bit more freedom.
Miss Sarah, we keep ignoring you. So far since you've been with Jerry, what has been your favorite product? Whether it's a protein, a pre-workout, what have you said that really blew your mind that you like?
Which one was it with the vegan PB?
Oh, it was Ambrosia, and we also did Steel. Both were
Oh,
vegan.
Steel vegan protein. Like, I know like vegan protein is like arising to be better, and back then it was just grainy, like just weird flavors, weird texture, and all that. But the one from Steel, their hot chocolate and their PB&J was like amazing, and I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever had. As far as
Really?
like
Okay.
vegan, as far as a vegan product, and like I'm not a vegan, but I know like vegan protein has, you know, its benefits and whatnot. I thought it was like the most amazing thing ever. It was through
Yeah,
the
the
roof.
peanut
I
butter
was
one's
like
good.
I was so surprised. Yeah.
See, that's
Jerry,
the thing,
you sent me the core peanut butter one, which blew my mind. Like the peanut butter was so strong, which I loved. I'd tried it before because you sent me a sample of the core one. That I thought was phenomenal.
Vegan? Yeah, vegan core. Yeah.
See, that's the thing, like what we mentioned earlier about like brands, certain brands are killing it. Like I think Ghost is a very good example. VW Fitness, Vince might be like getting pissed off about this, but I feel like their pre-workout and their pumps, they're just very mediocre and very
100%.
mediocre, right? But then like then the vegan stuff is fucking phenomenal, and then their whey is like hit or miss. Like certain flavors are fucking amazing, and some are just like, what the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah.
You know, that's why they have certain brands just killing it on every aspect, because I feel like Ghost is like one of those ones that's a perfect example of them not killing it on every aspect. You know, and then the greens are fucking fantastic. You know, it's like certain things they know how to do, and some they don't. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. Like the Chips Ahoy way, amazing. Their regular way, fucking trash. That's just my opinion.
Ari, what were you saying?
I was saying I forgot about the company Muscle Force. So you're talking about proteins. Muscle Force does incredible stuff. They just came out with a whey protein too. They sent over. I think it's really good.
You do a lot of vegan protein reviews too. You had one the other day that you seemed very high on. You had a friend or something that either worked for the company or a friend send you stuff, Ari?
Yeah. That was the Steel supplements they're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wish their pre-workouts were good. I didn't like those, but their proteins are sure good.
See, another example of one brand doing good stuff like Steel. I agree. Their pre-workout is like very mediocre. I mean, they also have like 6 different pre-workouts, but
They're like their
All of
main pre. It's called pre. It's fucking trash.
Yeah, I just did a review on that. It was terrible.
That's
Yeah.
how I felt about their Amped AF, their high stim one. It didn't do anything for me.
Guys, aside from
the
go ahead, Jerry.
the
Sorry.
amped or whatever. Yeah, they have like charged amp. They have regular pre. I mean, I think I've tried to charge the amp, but the regular pre is like their conventional style, and it's super trash in my opinion. It's just there's no reason to ever buy that thing. So, but then their beating line is fantastic. Like, it's just hit or miss sometimes. I don't know, you know.
Guys, aside from flavors, do you feel we're plateauing as an industry? I feel like there's not a lot of innovation coming out right now. I don't know. Vince, agree to disagree?
Yeah, I mean, it feels a little bit like that. There's just so many companies coming out with this and that, and flavor-wise, for sure, everyone's kind of copycatting everyone else in terms of, you know, fruity cereal milk and all this cereal stuff is ridiculous. Every company is doing it. I mean, I think there is still obviously a lot of innovation to come with more ingredients, and especially as the industry continues to grow, I think we will continue to see new products come out for sure.
Yeah. Craig, what about you? Do you think we hit a plateau, or because for me it seems like every pre-workout has, you know, 9 out of the 10 same ingredients, and now it almost seems like it's a game of, okay, well, mine's got 8 grams of citrulline. Well, why do I buy yours? Because I got 10 grams of citrulline in mine. You know, but Craig, go ahead. I kind of hijacked the question from you.
Yeah, it's just maxing out. So yeah, it's just maxing out on the ingredients they know work, I guess. So, like you said, they can play the numbers game. But you do see some new ingredients pop up here and there, but they're mostly underwhelming, aren't they? Like these trademarked or patented ingredients, they look all fancy. The studies sing their praises, but in real life, they tend to fall a bit short. But yeah, I think like Vince said, the more we expand and grow as an industry, the more you'll see these new things pop up, and there will be perhaps some that actually do live up to the hype.
Yeah, Aaron, anything to add on that?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about the trademarked ingredients. Like, if I had 2 tubs of pre-workout, one had 10 patented ingredients, one didn't, but they have the same sort of ingredients in them, I'd be 50-50 as to what one to choose. I think it's very easy for all these brands to chuck on all these trademarks nowadays and make it look all fancy on the outside of the tub, but it doesn't always mean it works better than a tub with just conventional ingredients in it.
Yeah. Do you, Aaron, lean more towards products with the trademark? Does trademark ingredients mean anything to you?
That's
Aaron.
Me.
Yeah, to you, Aaron.
No, not a lot. No, not a lot at all. I mean, beta-alanine versus carnosine beta-alanine, I mean, they're all the same. The problem is with a lot of these trademarked ingredients is the studies are aligned with what way the ingredient wants to go, so they'll make sure the studies are favourable for the effects of that ingredient.
Yep. Vince, anything to add?
No, 100%. I'm with you guys on that 100%.
All right. Well, guys, it's been a great chat thus far. Anything maybe we haven't discussed? Anything people want to get off their chest? Anything new and exciting coming up?
Yeah, I got something to talk about. I know you don't like prop blends.
Sean?
Yep.
Would you agree that probably 99% of the brands that are transparent, most likely you could probably not get a lab analytical to see what was in that, even if you wanted to?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I've learned if a company offers me a prop blend or asks me to try a prop blend, I will ask them first, because I don't accept every product that is offered to me. I've actually turned companies down because I'm like, look, give it to somebody else, because I don't want to leave a negative review when I know it's going to be a bad product. But if a company is willing to work with me, like, again, going back to Modern Hardcore, I said, listen, it's a prop blend. What can you share with me that I can share with the audience? So they told me the beta-alanine. They told me the citrulline. They told me the caffeine. They told me a couple other things, which I respected, okay? At the end of the day, I'm really worried about caffeine because, I'm very tolerant to caffeine. So if a company is not going to share anything about the prop at all to me, I avoid it regardless. Unless it's, I think all of us are smart enough that we can almost deconstruct a prop blend a little bit. That if it's got like beta-alanine and citrulline and caffeine, but it's a 5-gram scoop, we know it's underdosed. But if you see like citrulline and beta-alanine and caffeine and maybe a betaine and it's 15 grams, you almost want to think that maybe there's some legit dosages in there. But yes, on the opposite note, though, we're all for transparent labels, but I've seen some shitty transparent labels. So when the companies are saying my product is transparent,
Yeah.
doesn't really mean much either, unless it really is efficacious doses, real dosages. I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Well, that not only that, but like, do they have, or can you ask for, a lab analytical to prove that that is what's actually in it, versus saying this is what's in it, and then you just believe that's what's in it.
Yeah.
You could say there's 4 grams of beta-alanine, but if you did a lab analytical, it might only come back with 2 grams. It could say 4, it could say 100. It doesn't matter. As long as they can prove that what's actually in it, then transparency actually means something. That's just my opinion. There's plenty of companies that are transparent, but I guarantee you to run a lab analytical, it would not come up with the ingredients that it says it has in it, which is why most of the time labels are just labels, because we don't really know until we try it, what we feel. There's a lot of times where we're like, does it really have 3 grams of beta-alanine, or does it have 1 gram, or on the contrary, reverse. It's just, transparency doesn't necessarily mean that's exactly what's in it. Unless you have a lab analytical proving it, it really doesn't mean shit. That's just my opinion. That's why sometimes prop blends can be just as good as transparent blends, because it's a prop blend, but it's fucking loaded with shit, and it hits. I don't know. It's kind of like I don't know. It's 2 sides of the coin. I know a lot of people like transparency, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's being transparent.
You channeling TJ from Fitness News Deals? Labels on labels, people.
Well, it is true though, if you think about it.
Yeah, no, I know. I'd be curious. That'd be something I'd say we will try to do, is ask for COAs when we get the product to see if companies will offer it. But sometimes I don't know if they're getting legitimacy also. How do we know the manufacturer isn't doctoring something? So it's kind of, you don't know unless you physically take the product you receive. Like if you're the supplement company, like I know one brand that they go ahead, okay, so they're in stores. So they have the product sent to their stores, not to them. So it drop ships from the manufacturer and say, listen, I need you to send 20 tubs to Vitamin World. I need to send 20 tubs to Discount Supplement Brand or whatever. And then this owner buys 1 tub from the store and he sends it out to have it tested. Luckily, it's always come back right, because if you ask to have the product, a certificate of analysis sent with the product to you, of course they're going to send you the real deal. But if it's going to everybody else, which I thought was brilliant. I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but I was like, that's actually really brilliant. Take 1 random tub from someone you're selling it to and test it.
Yeah, and then there's also the inconsistency with batches. Like the first batch might be fantastic, all above board, and then like a year later, 2 years later, once they've got everyone hooked, I mean, this is a common thing we all see happen. The batches could then turn to crap, and low quality ingredients, underdosing.
To piggyback off that, what about the sourcing? The sourcing from caffeine from another source, another source. The purity of it. Yeah. There's so many aspects to it. So that's what really comes down to. Labels are just labels sometimes. I mean, TJ's not wrong.
You just got to trust the company behind it. Like, for example, I'll bring up an example. The other day, obviously, we previewed the pre-reviewed the Double Impact by Opperman Nutrition, because we know what's in that, like what's been said in that label. We trust is it actually in that label. So therefore, we was able to sort of deconstruct that label and kind of come up with the effects to a degree. It'll be interesting to see how it comes together when we actually use it. But as long as you trust the company.
Yeah, so to answer Mad Vegan here, he said, which brand is most reputable for lab testing? I can't confirm, but I know there are some companies that will actually put the lot number on the product so that you can go ahead and check it. Because I know the companies do that with proteins, but I don't know how many companies do that with pre-workouts and stuff.
I think NutriBio is one that you could probably trust for sure.
Yeah.
Their pre-workouts trash as shit, but honestly, their products are super, like, done right. Lab things on each one. You can look it up and
all above board.
See it.
And let's be honest, a lot of the ingredients that are in our pre-workouts, there really isn't a way to know except beta-alanine. You get the tingles, but I've also had some products where I think they overdosed the niacin to give me the flush, where people think they're getting the tingles, but it's more of a flush.
Yep.
And then obviously Alpha Yo, okay. And then when you have the exotics like the DMAA and DMHA, for us guys, when we're going with our women, we know if it works or not. Jerry, you look like, okay, wait for the click in, Jerry.
I've never had that. Well, I've had that a few times, but not. I don't think it's from DMHA or DMAA. I don't know. I really don't. I've never really had that issue.
Well, maybe you're not using the real stuff then.
Probably not.
I'm
That's the
still
thing.
confused about DMHA and DMAA because I always heard that DMAA is more euphoric than DMHA. But all the products I've had that are super euphoric all claim DMHA, where like a dark lab crack with 150 of DMAA was way more focus based than like a euphoria from a DMHA, like in a pre-phase or in a hype Snapsiolo, or those feel more euphoric to me. And everyone used to say DMAA was more euphoric, felt better. So I'm still confused on what the heck I'm taking.
It's tough because you mentioned an ingredient you hate earlier, and that's L-theanine. But when we combine L-theanine with sources like caffeine and DMHA, they make us like high all day long because the L-theanine drags out that effect.
Really?
That's why me and Craig actually, we don't mind L-theanine. It doesn't put us to sleep. In fact, it just makes us, puts
Draws
us on
out the
cloud
effect.
nine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
Aaron,
find
What,
what-
those combinations.
it doesn't damper down the stimulant effect for you at all?
No.
But
It
Aaron,
does
what about
smooth
the
it over
ratio, though?
A tiny bit, but not a crazy amount.
We had
Sorry.
the ratio. We had that. I can't remember what company sent us one, but it had a gram of L-theanine in it, and it was still
Oh,
all
yeah.
right.
Blitz.
Blitz. That's
Yeah,
it.
Blitz.
By,
Valor or something.
yeah, them guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that's it.
all right. I thought that
Yeah.
was all right.
I thought
It
it was
weren't bad.
alright.
It was quite a mood
Yeah.
boosting pre-workout.
Yeah.
Like it weren't strong or anything, but it was all right.
Mm.
You wouldn't. A lot of people would say, "Oh, it put you to sleep like a sleep aid," but it didn't do that.
Nope.
I just don't understand why
reviews are
people.
pretty similar on that one.
I just don't understand why people put L-theanine in it. I mean, because I thought the whole idea of putting a high stim was to make you feel high or feel you energetic, and then maybe put in a dicaffeine that maybe slows it down. But that's just me, though. I don't know. I think L-theanine's used too much.
The caffeine malate's just a stimulant. The L-theanine obviously calms the stimulants, but it also prolongs them as well, and it has some other effects on like serotonin levels and stuff like that. There's more to it than just a caffeine malate.
It is a good for
advantage.
depression. There's a lot of studies on L-theanine that are really good for anxiety and depression. Yeah.
See, for me, I like lemon balm. I don't know if you guys seen products with lemon balm. It's actually the same thing. It slows it down. But it's just a better, like you said, Ari, it's a little bit more in the mental. And then for some of us, I don't know if you have a stimulant, like a really heavy pre-workout and then have to go take a crap right after it. The lemon balm kind of tapers that back a little bit. Sorry, Sarah.
Oh, really? Is it the anti-poo ingredient?
Is it the what? What did you say,
Anti-poo
Craig?
ingredient then? Does it like stop
Yes,
you from pooing from stimulants?
exactly. Guys, any other questions here? It's been a great conversation, and I appreciate, the old folks and meeting a lot of new folks as well.
No, this was
I have
good.
one question for.
I would just say, what's your all-time favourite ingredient in every workout other than caffeine, obviously?
I know, Ari. I'm going to defer to Ari for a minute. I got to think about that one.
What favorite besides caffeine?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe the Araya Genesis. I like. Maybe you mean my favorite. Oh, probably the glycerol is my favorite because I just react so well to it on how I look in the mirror after I take glycerol. It is so effective for me. I could tell a distinct difference in products with glycerol versus like just citrulline.
Vince, you have a favorite aside from caffeine?
Yeah, 100%.
I would say citrulline, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of health benefits outside the gym that help. Yeah, citrulline's great. Helps with blood flow. I take it every day. So.
Okay. You have any other questions, Jerry?
For the Craig and for the review bros, is there any better product where you guys completely fucking disagreed on?
Oh, I'm thinking. I don't.
Because I feel like you guys always like come to an agreement. But is there any times where it's like there's fucking just you guys completely disagreed?
I think we've had mild differences, but never like polar opposite. Like where I've liked it vaguely more, or Aaron's liked it vaguely more, but never like just total
I don't
opposite.
think there
Because
has
I
been.
think we're always taking the same tub as well. So I think a lot of disagreements between channels on how good a pre is might be batch inconsistencies or who knows.
Yeah.
But me and Aaron, you know, run on the same sort of routine with what we take, diet, training. So we're on the same kind of wavelength. So generally we agree with the pre-workouts too.
Didn't you like Hypermax Extreme more than me though?
I don't even know if I took that with you when you reviewed it, did I? I think that was after lockdown. Or did I?
Well, that
I'd have to
Hypermax
look back.
Extreme. Yeah, I'm sure you
I'd
did.
have to look back.
You guys have done so many
Maybe I
reviews,
did.
you probably don't even remember what you have and haven't done.
Oh, there's so many.
I've got a couple of sealed
it's
tubs
hard,
of that here
yeah.
to review. That another freaking formulation of it as well.
Answer your question, Jerry? I don't know if it did or didn't.
Not to do anything else.
It was just a question I was curious about.
Because for the most part, me and her agree on a lot of things, like when we come to reviews, but sometimes she's completely not about it, and I'm all about it. So it's just why it's,
Interesting to see if you guys had it going on ever.
Well, sometimes we do
Not
like to
really.
test out that theory. If I use a pre-workout, I won't tell Aaron my effects on it, and I'll just be like, "Let me know that the next day," or vice versa. Aaron will do that, and then we've tried that before, and we've actually said the exact same thing to one another. Just an example of a recent one that we've done that on. It was Oxide Onslaught, weren't it, Aaron? Remember, you took it. You didn't tell me about your experience, and I've always noted you my experience, and you literally said the exact same thing.
Yeah, a lot. It's weird. It's probably because we've been copying each other supplement-wise for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's totally been a pleasure. Why don't we quickly go around and share if you got websites, your Instagram channels, your YouTube channels. Ari, tell everybody where they can find you, my friend.
You can find me on YouTube at Garage Gym Homie, and on Instagram at Garage Gym Homie. That's it.
Short and sweet. And Vince?
Yeah, same thing here. Channel is VW Fitness, and the Instagram is at the VW Fitness.
And Jerry and Sarah. Let's start with the lovely Sarah first. I don't know if you want followers or not.
Well, I'm found on my Instagram, YouTube at Sarah Raynog, SarahRejNok.
That's her little thing. The little NOK thing. I'm Opperman Fitness, little and everything. So Opperman Fitness for everything.
Hashtag gains.
You got it.
And then Craig and Aaron, I know you both have, I know you review bros, but you also have your independent channels. Or at least do you have your own Instagram, Aaron? I know Craig does.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's just
yeah, we both do.
I think it's like Aaron __O or something like that. I can't remember top of my head. I don't use it. I'm always on the Review Bros channel. We now have Snapchat, we have Twitter, we have Reddit, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, so we're everywhere.
So for people that get you guys through Instagram, is it a flip on who people get, or is one of you guys always on Instagram over the other?
No, it's
Pretty
flip.
much 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, we jump into each other's conversations all the time.
And then one announcement for me.
Minute,
Go ahead.
I was going to say 1 minute any of us could be talking, and then the next one's just talking to you. So we're just like carrying on the conversation.
and for me, guys, I have a big announcement today myself. So some people on the call know this, some people don't. I just launched a website today called discountsupplementcodes.net. So it's basically a website that's housing all the codes that all these companies have given me, and I've actually stolen some of your codes as well. It's very easy. Again, I'll post it here in a minute. Supplementdiscountcodes.net. You can go to like a pre-workout section, and you see all the different codes, all the different companies. You click on the link, and it brings you right to, like if you see a pollen hooligan, it'll tell you what code to use. You write it down, takes you right to the website, and you input it. So I've taken some stuff from the Review Brothers. Jerry, I've taken some of yours. I've also used some of our videos. See if we can make each other a little bit of money for companies that are making, paying out commissions. But if not, I'm all about giving notoriety to these companies that need it. And as always, guys, I'm _SubTalk_radio. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Stay on for just a minute here. We'll go off the air and we'll just kind of ramp up.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.